Hi, this is Anthony. In episode 314, I looked at a piece of evidence in the Zodiac serial killer case from the late 1960s California. This clue comes from a Halloween card that was supposedly sent from the Zodiac killer to Paul Avery, a reporter who covered the Zodiac case, and in the movie Zodiac was portrayed by Robert Downey Jr. Anyway, in my video, I point out that the unusual symbol, which looks like it could be a valley between two mountain peaks and four dots, which has stumped people for a long time, could possibly be related to meteorological symbols, that is, weather forecasting symbols. Now, I clearly state that I'm not saying that this solves what the symbols are. I'm just saying that it's one thing to look at to see if it might shine some light into the context of the card and in relation to everything else that we've heard from the Zodiac. Now, I've gotten a couple communications from one viewer, and he's insistent that it's related to the cattle brand used in the Red Rider comics. And of course, if you know anything about the Zodiac case, you probably are aware of people trying to connect this mysterious symbol from the Halloween card to this Red Rider cattle brand. And there are some similarities. However, it's not an exact match, not even close. And so we have to ask ourselves, is it really connected to the Red Rider cattle brand? And if so, what do the distortions mean? Even if it was exactly matching, what do we learn from Red Rider? Does it solve the mystery? For instance, the numeral 8 and the infinity sign are for the most part the same symbol. One is upright and the other is laying on its side. But even though it's the same symbol, the numeric value of the two is vastly different. So I think we need to be very cautious when making any interpretation, especially one connected to Red Rider, since the symbols are not even close to being the same symbol. Another helpful viewer suggested that there might be a connection to runes, and of course that's exactly the focus of this video. Now, let me take a step back. In my previous video I said I also looked at various other sources, including actual cattle brands, mainly ones used in Texas, from a variety of online resources that catalog cattle brands. I also looked at so-called hobo signs and Boy Scout signs, among others. I pointed out that doing research on those various types of symbols, I didn't find any that shed light on this mysterious zodiac symbol. But later I thought it could have been connected to runes or Phoenician letters or something along those lines. So if one looks at various alphabets that have been used in the past, such as on Wikipedia, you'll see a number of alphabets which have symbols that could possibly match one or the other of what might be called the two mountain peaks in this symbol. Unfortunately, there's really no alphabetic system that I found where you have two letters that match these two symbols if we're assuming that they're connected in the middle. And of course, this is a problem when you have something that may be made up of only two letters from a dead language with no other context. It might be difficult, if not impossible, to decode. I also mentioned that this could entirely be from the imagination of the killer and doesn't mean anything. Simply, it's meant to throw off investigators at the time, probably not realizing that 50 years later, people would be arguing on the internet over what this symbol or symbols may mean. I think that if you found an exact match in a picture from an old Western novel or from a comic book, then that might be a clue. But in my opinion, it really needs to match exactly, not just kind of close, not just 70% similarity. If you could find a language or an alphabetic system where there were two letters that matched, was it really intended by the Zodiac, or is it just coincidence? I think with the internet today, where you can look up everything under the sun, including writing systems and alphabets, a modern-day serial killer could come up with all kinds of tantalizing symbols and codes. But 50 or 55 years ago, you're going to have more limited resources. But somebody doesn't need to be an expert on it. They might just have a book on ancient languages or an encyclopedia that may have given them an inspiration. Anyway, I don't have any solution to this at this point, and I don't think that I'll come up with a solution, but I do encourage interested viewers to continue pursuing this if they think that they might be able to crack the case, or at least find a plausible explanation for what this symbol might mean. If you have any thoughts at all or suggestions for other researchers, please do leave them in the comments section. And if you haven't already, I would really appreciate it if you hit that subscribe button. It doesn't cost you anything and it just takes a second. And I have less than 200 subscribers to go until I can get my channel monetized. And if you like this video, hit the like button and be sure to check out my other videos. I cover a wide range of topics from unsolved mysteries like the Zodiac and D.B. Cooper cases, to personal finance and stock investing, to looking at numismatics, heraldry, and even book and movie reviews. Hope to hear from you soon. Thanks.